People versus Joel Wright, case number 24536. Mr. Wright, present. Mr. Thompson is here on behalf of Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright is present during the courtroom today. This is set for sentencing. Mr. Wright, you had an opportunity to go through the pre-sentence report with Mr. Thompson. Thompson, are there any additions to the corrections?
No, yeah.
Jones. No. So, people have any additions, deletions, or corrections? Jones with the scoring of the
I think the recommendation here is appropriate. It does build into it something that we have been doing 90 days in jail, 3 days credit, inpatient after 30 days. I think that sort of balances punishment and disposal of rehabilitation. He had 2.7 grams of meth. That recommendation is what it has.
Mr. Thompson.
I do think the recommendation is appropriate. I think Mr. Wright was fine. It's not. Of course, very familiar with petitions of substance abuse. Rehab has suggested.
Mr. Wright. I did read through the report, familiar with your circumstances and what happened in this case. I do think the recommendation is appropriate. You have to need for some treatment and probation. Is in terms of helping you work on this issue the best way. I will say you're well aware of your past history. Running out of opportunities for probation. Looking at reports, this reflects that a number of terms of probation and jail terms. Sooner or later, you're going to wind up with prison recommendations. So I hope that you take this as an opportunity to use some resources like inpatient treatment to help you with your substance use. Sounds like you got a good job working out for a long time. Sounds like you've got a lot of things like so I hope that you take this opportunity when you do that. If you don't, then back to the probation. That's not the way it goes. The court is going to sentence you to probation for 24 months, subject to all the terms and conditions listed in the report. The court is going to order that you serve 90 days in the Crawford County Jail. I agree with the provision for release to treatment after the first 30 days. Jail day-to-day credit, successful that treatment on your jail time. Right, assessment of $130. $30 per month while you're on probation, or costing $325 and $68 state costs. You have the ability to seek appeal of this sentence. Mr. Coleman, present. Please, oh, yes. Let's take a short recess and we'll proceed once we get Mr. Coleman. Thank you.
All right, please turn around the new system. Last time we looked, I didn't.
All the records reflect Mr. present here in the courtroom today.
Sierra Coleman, we have the people.
Thank you, Your Honor.
This is the date time set for sentencing on a probation violation. Mr. Coleman, did you have a chance to go through the pre-sentence report and talk to Mr. Thompson about that? Mr. Thompson, are there any corrections?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Coe, do you have any corrections?
You did.
go anything on behalf of the people for allegation.
I think the recommendation for 30 days is credit and successful discharge.
Your Honor, I think discharge is appropriate. As the court considers time served on this. This court responsible. He can suffer loss.
Successful discharge very well followed is a good sanction. Exactly the change. The extra 20 days in jail would ask the court to consider time served on this successful discharge.
Successfully completed was only 2 weeks away. So that's where the consequence. Thank you.
Mr. Colvin, anything you want to say?
I do it for example, trying to be here. Might be able to work on this. I can contact the company and tell them the last work here. I just couldn't be here. I said I could. Across the state to be here. Feel like trying to do everything to lost going on. So basically, the first it's been a tough year.
Right. I read the report, so I'm familiar with that circumstance. And I'm sorry for your loss. It's difficult for anybody to deal with. I understand that's underlying issues that make it worse. So,
I do have a few clients that their jobs are open, houses are exposed to heat. It's bad. It's just starting. They do very.
yep, I understand. And I think the recommendation here takes into account some of those things, including some of the background. I do think discharge is appropriate at this point on probation. And I do think there needs to be a penalty. And I think by not only for you, but other people who are on probation. I think 30 days is a fair sentence. I think it's conduct in this case. So the court is going to follow the recommendation, discharging unsuccessfully from the probation, placing the user in fines and costs. It's going to be 40 days or 30 days in the property under jail. You have credit for 10 days to serve. You have the ability to seek appeal of the sentence.
Sorry.
I will correct this.
Making sure this week. Policy and file.
I was held with courtesy.
I believe that to be accurate, but that's most good. I would not object to 2 more days for that.
So the court will allow for 12 days.
I usually hear your when receive these. It's not the same as filing an appeal. If you decided after reading it, wanted to file an appeal, you would use these 2 sheets that we do with, check those out.
All right, let's talk about that. This sentencing hearing for Joel Wright was a fairly straightforward but still telling moment in how courts handle repeat substance-related cases. Judge George Mertz kept his usual calm, steady hand on the process, ensuring all the boxes were checked with the pre-sentence report and confirming that the recommendation aligned with the circumstances. What stood out right away was how both sides, prosecution and defense, seemed aligned that the proposed sentence struck a balance. 90 days in county jail with a chance to move into inpatient treatment after 30 days, followed by 2 years of probation. That's not leniency, but it's also not throwing the book at him. It's a middle road meant to mix punishment with a genuine opportunity for rehabilitation. The prosecution's comments were brief but pointed, emphasizing the weight of substance abuse in Mr. Wright's history and tying the proposed sentence to both accountability and treatment. It wasn't an argument heavy on rhetoric, just a clear nod that the system has been down this road with him before and that this recommendation had logic behind it. The defense, for its part, didn't contest much. When both sides are effectively on the same page, you know the sentencing recommendation was carefully considered and balanced. Joel Wright himself didn't say much during the hearing, but the facts of his background and history carried the narrative. Judge Mertz spelled it out directly. Mr. Wright has had multiple terms of probation and several jail sentences in the past, and the risk of prison is looming if things don't change. The judge's tone was serious but not harsh, almost like a warning wrapped in one last opportunity. He acknowledged Wright's steady job and the positive aspects of his life, but emphasized that those would only matter if he took advantage of this opening for treatment. It was a clear message. This is the point where the fork in the road is obvious. Use the tools available or face a harsher path. The overall courtroom atmosphere was orderly and relatively calm. With the prosecution, defense, and judge largely aligned, there wasn't tension or confrontation, just a professional agreement that this was the right next step. The sentence itself, 90 days in jail with the possibility of earlier treatment release, followed by 2 years of probation, came across as the court's attempt to give Wright one last structured shot at turning things around, while still imposing meaningful consequences for the meth possession. In sum, this was a hearing where the system's patience is wearing thin, but not gone entirely. Wright was given a chance to prove himself again, but with a very real warning attached. It was practical, measured justice. Consequences now, treatment built in, and the shadow of prison on the horizon if this chance is wasted. If you found this hearing insightful, consider subscribing, hitting the bell, and letting me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every one.